Hi, welcome to this channel on magnetic energy, technology, principles, applications. This video is about, dark matter, quantum energy, and supersymmetry only as examples of what can go wrong in science. And this is highly unconventional information. These three areas are just they're examples of theoretical areas of physics that end up being in dead ends and basically unsolvable problems when you have a society that actively suppresses science and actively suppresses progress. Not only does it confiscate devices that are developed by scientists, it cuts their funding, it ridicules them, it completely destroys their reputation, their career, and then at the same time, a lot of them, and they end up dead. And so now there are scientists in top secret labs around the world, I talk about this all the time, that know everything that I'm saying in this video, and they have the technology to prove it. No shit, they have the technology to prove it. So if you are in a conventional science arena, just think about trying to look at everything differently, but be very aware that if you come out with this stuff and you think you're going to make some big breakthrough, it's probably going to get your funding cut. It's probably going to destroy your everything, your career. So you got to be very, very careful about doing this. Now, in top secret labs, the sad thing about this is, in some ways, is they can't talk about this. And so they know everything I'm saying, but they can't talk about it. They literally are under massive restrictions. So here's the bottom line of this, and I'm going to put this as simply as possible, and I'm going to share some of the revelations that we got regarding these topics and regarding these areas of science. But a lot of this comes down to areas like dark matter and quantum gravity and supersymmetry. A lot of it just comes down to our basic assumptions of the universe. And a lot of that has to do with matter. And so this is where this model, the etheric magnetic model, really departs from the classic model and then the evolving models in science. And so in what we call the universe, and a lot of people say it's a simulation and everything, well, I mean, there's characteristics of it that are definitely unique in the sense that what we think of as our physical universe isn't necessarily what is occurring in other places. So let me just start with that, though. In what we call our universe, solid matter does not exist. Period. Everything is energy. All space is energy composed of etheric, magnetic, resonant factors, and all energy systems are interdimensional, with energy being exchanged through the dimensions continuously from higher dimension to our dimension at specific pulse rates, mostly through vortices and through, toroidal fields. And so I've talked about this in multiple videos. Now, gravity is an etheric magnetic circuit that interacts with energy at the quantum level at varying degrees depending on the magnetic resonance capability or compatibility. Gravity bends light because gravity and light both have etheric magnetic components that interact with each other. Okay? That's why it's bending it. Gravity, and it's the same thing with space. The idea of gravity bending space, it's gravity has etheric magnetic components that can warp the etheric magnetic field depending on the resonant factors involved as well. If true solid mass, like if something was actually, true solid mass, if it actually existed, it would have zero impact on warping space because it would have zero resonance matching and zero interdimensional energy exchange to interact with the space. So you have to have a nearly infinite depth of subatomic energy components and vortices and everything in order to have that etheric magnetic exchange from a higher dimension to our dimension. If something were truly solid and it didn't have those, and it wasn't simply energy vortices and everything like the toroidal fields around it and everything, there would be no interdimensional energy exchange, so it has no resonant factors. Therefore, it couldn't even bend what we call space or time or light. Okay, so this is really fundamental. If true solid mass existed, it would have zero gravitational qualities because mass energy systems would have zero resonance compatibility with it. So that basically what that's saying is any planetary body, a star, whatever it is, an asteroid or anything, these are all energy systems that are composed of energetic molecular structures that have very identifiable, like quantum components, resonant quantum components, pulse rates and everything. Something actually solid has zero compatibility with those. There would be zero interaction. You could have the largest ball of pure mass, true solid mass, and everything would fly right by it with no interaction whatsoever because it's not emitting the energy fields and the resonant pulse rates that are compatible with everything in our universe. So in this area of dark matter, gravity is, well, from this model's point of view, gravity is an interdimensional process combining two forces that manifest primarily through pulsing attract fields. Talked about this in a lot of videos. Gravitational attraction begins at the subatomic level as energy vortices interact through compatible magnetic resonant fields. I hope that's coming through okay. It's the composition and the pulse rate or the resonant frequency of a system that determines its interaction with the gravity circuit. There's nothing truly solid in the universe, so the idea of gravity being based on something solid is completely erroneous. So the idea here is, as long as something is inside of a gravity circuit, such as like in our galaxy, it will respond according to the molecular structures, the resonant frequencies of the object itself. So the speed is completely determined by those factors. Now, the rate at which an object moves through a gravity field is completely dependent on the magnetic resonant factors of the object and the gravity field through which they are moving. So all motion in the universe can be explained in this model. All of it. All phenomena regarding light, gravity, and matter and energy can be explained in this model as well. So matter is just not solid matter. It's just not possible in this universe because it does not allow for the etheric exchange and it's not interdimensional. So the system just would not recognize it. Matter is nothing more than a theoretical construct that has no basis in reality. The sooner science accepts this fact, the sooner it will be free to evolve. So this is really just kind of hitting at some of the heart of the equations, the heart of these theoretical struggles that physics is currently going through. And a lot of it's rooted in this assumption that there's something solid in matter and the Higgs boson and the boson fields and all that. It's all just theoretical constructs that don't have a basis in reality, and there's technology and top secret labs that prove everything I'm saying right now. And so the idea is just to think of the universe in terms of energy structures, that anything that moves through a gravitational circuit will move at a speed according to the composition of the object and the composition of the gravity field. And so that's why you can have tremendous stacking stars at the center of a galaxy and less at the outer edges, but then everything moves in ways that aren't conventionally explained by Newtonian physics, because it's not just simply a matter of mass. Mass has nothing to do with it. It's the gravitational circuit and it's the resonant frequencies of that circuit in relationship to the objects moving through that circuit at all times. Please send in any questions and comments that you have on this, and I had to get this on the record, and I'll see you next time.